So, Congressman Acop, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. General Salvador, may I know the basis why IAS should be the one to investigate incidents involving police officers where firearms are used?
It's not, as I have mentioned, Your Honor, it's also their mandate independently. But as I mentioned also that...
Could you please state to this body, ano po yung mandate na sinasabi po ninyo?
It's the motu proprio investigation, especially if the case involves the use of firearms. And
is that provided for by any law?
it is within the disciplinary machinery or 6975, Your Honor.
Administrative cases, I will agree with you. Di ba? Kasi,
Opo, nasa batas po, Your Honor.
I do not know. That's why I'm asking, because during our time, the agency that investigates these events or these incidents would be the CIDG. Why? Because when these incidents happen, there are two aspects. Dalawang kaso administrative at saka criminal. Now, is the IAS equipped to conduct criminal investigation?
It is...
Please answer my question first. Is the IAS equipped, or does it have the capacity to conduct criminal investigation?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Oh.
On the basis of the findings of every...
The IAS is basically an agency which investigates the administrative aspect of this issue. Would you agree with that?
Yes, Your Honor, but
Yes.
as I have mentioned,
Kaya nga
they can always
sinasabi
recommend.
Sinasabi kanina na Mr. Sarmenta na grave neglect of duty na yung one That is administrative offense. Pero ano yung criminal offense na final ninyo?
I have been consistent with my response, Your Honor, because
Hindi ko
this
naman
is-
sinasabi na hindi ka consistent. Ang question ko, yung sagot mo. Kasi, hindi ba't sabi ko, you give me the basis why IAS is supposed to conduct this kind of investigations. When in fact, I know na yung IAS, administrative aspect lang ng kaso, ang trabaho nila. The criminal aspect is with CIDG, which is capacitated to do the criminal investigation. Kasi iba yung administrative investigation at saka criminal investigation. Doon pa lang sa evidence that is required, magkaiba na yung dalawa So, how can you tell me that the IAS is capacitated to conduct criminal investigation?
Well,
You tell me, what is that mandate that you are telling me? So that I will be convinced.
it is, they have the powers to file appropriate criminal cases against PNP members because before the court as evidence warrants and assist in the prosecution of the case. Tulad nung binabanggit namin, Your Honor, wala silang pinagkaiba sa investigator on case na kung may mga ebidensya on the basis of findings of the SOCO.
Doon sa kaso na sinasabi ni Mr. Sarmenta, ano po yung criminal case na na-file?
Well, we will have to check on the record, Your Honor, for a while.
Yan nga yung sinasabi ko
I believe that they are telling us as to the specific case, Your Honor.
Meron po bang criminal case, Mr. Sarmenta, na final?
There was a case in the Ombudsman po. The IAS case po is NES NMP PCI 180054, which is basically a series of grave neglect of duty on Colonel Lito Patay, the QCPD
Administrative.
station. And then on the policeman involved, grave neglect of duty, grave misconduct, and conduct unbecoming.
Those are all administrative cases, which is
Yes.
under the jurisdiction of the Ombudsman, both criminal and administrative.
There was a separate filing at the Ombudsman po initiated by the CHR, OMB PC 18 0092. This is for murder. And it was dismissed by the Ombudsman.
Yan yung criminal aspect. Yun nga yung sinasabi ko eh. Ang nangyayari, General Salvador, administrative aspect lang or administrative cases lang ang fina-file ng IAS. Why? Because it's their mandate.
But, Your Honor, they are also not prevented to file the criminal
I would
case.
agree with you.
Yes.
But supposing I will ask you to give to this committee or submit to this committee ano yung mga cases na involved sa extrajudicial killings na na-file ng criminal case by IAS to prove your point.
We will wait for the IAS to respond to that, Your Honor.
Yes. And that is why, Mr. Chair, may I move that we invite the director of IAS in the next hearing para masettle tong issue nito?
Okay, there's a motion to invite the head of the IAS.
Second,
And duly seconded. Any objection? Hearing none, the said motion is now approved.
Mr. Chair, I also would like to inform the body, especially our, I like Attorney Conti and Mr. Meta, that this morning, the Committee on Appropriations already approved, no? The Committee on Human Rights was the first one who approved that. But today, already approved the CHR charter. Oo. Now, Mr. Chair, I think that there should not only be a review of these cases, there ought to be a reinvestigation of these cases, Mr. Chair. Would that be the kind of mandate the Philippine National Police also has? Because the thing is, yung mga investigation ginawa on the last administration were actually wala eh. Wala nangyari. So, I'd like to ask Major General Salvador, would you agree that all of those victims of the extrajudicial killings, more than 7,000 of them or more, should be reinvestigated further? Major General.
Yes, Your Honor, it's possible for investigation.
Therefore, Mr. Chair, if it's possible, then I would strongly suggest that these victims should be reinvestigated so that the proper charges in court should be filed. Mr. Chair. Major General, would you please answer?
Yes, Your Honor. It's a matter of the inventory of cases, and I believe it will be coinciding with the cases of the Internal Affairs Service.
Attorney Conti, may tanong lang ako, Mr. Chair, tanong lang ako, ano. Attorney Conti, no? Considering yung mga present situation before, during the time nung last administration, and kanina sinabi ni NBI Director that nahirapan silang i-pursue yung mga cases because of a lot of different factors. Like, well, yung mga evidences, medyo wala na, 2 years or 3 years ago pa. And at the same time, yung consideration of the families, would you agree with me na ang one of the factors why the families are not cooperating during that time because of the policy of the government?
Yes, Your Honor. And the continuing security threats to themselves. Kasi yung police na nag-operate o pumatay, dun pa rin naka-assign. At probably sila rin ang mag-iimbestiga. So,
And that's the reason why kaya yung resulta natin sa pagpa-file ng case, yung iba nadi-dismiss dahil nga po sa takot ng pamilya because of the existing environment, no? Moving forward, no? Now that we have realized that in accordance with the suggestion of Congressman Chairman Abante na to reopen the investigation of all these cases, and having considered the manifestation of the NBI Director with regards to sa mga evidences, do you think we will be having a hard time to pursue all of these investigation, re-investigation, and if we will be having a hard time moving forward as a lawyer, ano po yung pwede nating gawin?
Your Honor, first off, it would take a big deal to recover or restore the trust of these people, of these victims, in the investigation and justice system in the Philippines. Pasensya na po, pero parang nabasag lahat yun nung nakaraang panahon. And lalo na, the killings continue. DAHAS, the organization which monitors killings, have noted some 300 killings last year as well. And we think it could be related to continuing practice, kung nakasanayan na po ng mga pulis. Kung wala mang policy na sasabihin or walang sinasabi, parang patuloy pa rin talaga yung kalakaran. Ang pwede po siguro, if this committee or this government wants to investigate everything, as a rule, continue with the investigation. If some of the victims would prefer not to be reinvestigated, then allow them that leeway. So as a rule, lahat po iimbestigahan ulit, ilalabas lahat ng ebidensya, and just allow the victims to opt out.
Paano lalabas yung ebidensya kung halimbawa wala na nga po yung ebidensya?
Sa totoo po, actually, ito yung tanungan namin eh. Kung yung biktima po yung tatanungin, wala po sa amin din yung ebidensya. Nasa PNP po. Kaya,
like for example, ito nga. I think, I just think about this, because of the environment of the last administration, those evidences na, well, I hope that they can really deliver all those weapons, na nakuha sa crime scene, but I really doubt kung meron talaga. But kung wala, moving forward, we cannot investigate anymore. So, ano in-expect sa atin na dapat nating gawin kung wala na tayong makukuha ganong klaseng ebidensya and we cannot re-investigate anymore? And considering that we're talking about 7,000 as manifested by the PNP during the investigation sa Committee on Human Rights, inamin nila naman na almost 7,000 yung naging namatay sa drug on war. So ngayon, war on drugs. So ngayon, ang tanong, kakaunti lang yung katulad ni Miss Marisa Hamoy. Out of the 7,000, ilan lamang po yung naging successful na napakulong po natin yung perpetrator? Ilan lamang po sa mga hawak ninyo? Si Attorney Conti and then si Mr. Joel Sarmenta.
Your Honor, we reviewed 200 cases. Only 6 we could file in court. Only 1 we secured a conviction for.
Isa lang naging successful.
Out of total 200.
And with Joel Sarmenta, so si Miss Hamoy lang.
Based on me, hindi po. Filed but nothing happens. In fact,
so wala pang I thought yung perpetrator nakakulong na right now. Hindi din po.
In
so
fact,
in other words, sa 7,000, isa lang ang nakulong. Isa lang?
Your Honor, from my count, there should be at least 8 police officers detained. 8 from 3 cases. Kian, Carl, and the Bonifacio case.
Bonifacio.
Convictions of police officers
So
for
halos lahat yung
extrajudicial killings.
dismiss.
Yes, Your Honor,
So
unfortunately.
out of the 7,000, ilan yung na-dismiss?
If at all, kung may na-file. Actually, at one count in 2018, Your Honor, we were talking among ourselves, yung mga lawyers po. A handful of cases lang ang na-file namin between NUPL, FLAG, Ideals, some law groups, and even NBI and PAW. Binilang na po namin, ang bilang namin, 18 to 20 cases ang nakasampa na parang offensive, counter-offensive, kaso patungkol dun sa pagpatay. Yung iba pong kasong tinutukoy, kunyari, kaso na kinaso dun sa pinatay or nakasurvive.
Do you really, sige Mr. Joel Sarmenta.
Sorry, sir. Chair, and I'd like to note, yung Bonifacio case is only this 2024, mid-2024. So it's very recent. There's also the phenomenon of the Bertes case where the guilty policeman is now incarcerated for a different shooting. And in fact, the RTC of Pasay still has to be really pushed to reopen that case and really start prosecuting him.
I hope you guys, no, na hindi tayo mawala ng pag-asa, no. The reason why I'm trying to tell this is because of the reality. Na katulad na sinabi ni NBI Director na talagang pag wala na ebidensya, it's hard to reinvestigate. And having said that, 2025 na po ngayon. And ang sinasabi po ni NBI Director, years back pa. And the more na magiging much more impossible to recover all those evidences. But mahirap naman pong bitawan na yung mga pamilya ng biktima. So we have to hang on and try to move forward and try to somehow yung reinvestigation, the best effort that we can do. Siguro, Mr. Chairman, medyo nasadden ako ngayon. Hindi na sana ako magtatanong. Pero parang naisip ko, out of the 7,000, ilan ba talagang naging successful? So ngayon, parang lumalabas na isa o dalawa lamang. Talagang nakakalungkot na yan. Talagang medyo this government, the present government, must do something to give justice to those families sa biktima. Yun lamang po, Mr. Chairman. At halinawa ay magkaroon talaga ng resolve ang ating pong national government, no?
Mr.
Especially
Chair.
DOJ
Chairman.
and the Office of the President.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair. I give way to Congressman
sige.
Paduano, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Congressman Paduano, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Salamat po. At least nakinig naman. Medyo nakinig din na pinagbigyan tayo ng pagkakataon na magsalita. Jen, before you recognize Chairman, General Salvador, Mr. Chairman, ganito lang po. I've heard about this statement coming from Mr. Sermenta. Sir, you mentioned about the representation of our country through the former DOJ Secretary on the International Human Rights Conference during the time. Being represented by
Human Rights. If I'm not
UN
mistaken,
Human Rights.
In Geneva.
In Geneva, which was represented by the then DOJ Secretary Guevara, di ba? Medyo makalimutin na kasi itong si Chairman Abante siguro. But as far as I remember, in the first hearing of EJK, in his Committee on Human Rights, it was mentioned by then DOJ Secretary Guevara about that conference, and he mentioned also that upon arrival, during the time, he submitted a confidential report with regards to it, no? To the Office of the President through ES, Executive Secretary. Now, as far as I remember during the time when I asked him about the document, confidential document, I directly asked him if the committee or the Congress can ask the Executive Department to give us a copy of that confidential. Now, sabi niya, of course, the Office of the President through the ES will invoke executive privilege, etc., etc. But sabi ko nga sa kanya, what if? Kasi that report and those incidents in that report happens in the previous administration, and if the Office of the President through the ES will waive its right with regard to executive privilege, pwede po. Sabi niya, pwede. Kaya, Mr. Chairman, pwedeng balikan natin yung Quadcom. We once again, well, in fact, I moved for it during that hearing that to the chair that we will write a letter to the Office of the President, to the ES, for us to give us the copy about that confidential report. Kasi mahalaga po yun. That's number one, Mr. Chairman. Kaya kailangan lang siguro natin pag-usapan ulit para makakuha tayo ng comprehensive confidential report with regards to EJK that was also delivered by, some portion of it was delivered also by then DOJ Secretary Guevara dun sa UN, United Nations Human Rights Conference at in Geneva. Now, second, Mr. Chairman, the case that was mentioned by the civil society groups, the Rise Up, well, in fact, it was also confirmed by the PNP that there are around 6,000 to 7,000 cases of nanlaban. And most of it, as confirmed by Director Labin, na NBI, karamihan po, wala. Now, ngayon, sabi nga kanina ni Chairman Abante, what can the PNP do about it? The NBI can do about it. I think, Mr. Chairman, they are not Superman. Hindi po sila Superman. Kasi 6,000 cases, hindi kaya po yun. To review, to investigate, to review. Yes, sabi natin 7,000. Kahit sabi ko nga kanina kay Chairman Barbers, kahit 2,000 o 3,000 na lang. Abutin lang po to be honest and candid about it. Abutin lang po ng next at patapos ang administrasyon na hindi po ito matatapos. Sa totoo lang po. Because we also don't want, PNP is involved in this. Nanlaban. Then you give the PNP the responsibility to review it. Wala. Sigurado yun. Diba? At the same time, we will also do not want the organization of the PNP will focus on this. Marami pa po silang trabaho. Now, ganon din pong NBI. Pag binigay mo to yung 7,000 sa NBI, wala. Especially the statement coming from Attorney Lavin na out of the 52, 13 only because some relatives of the victims are not anymore interested. They are not cooperating. Walang evidence, etc. Walang mangyari. Kahit anong motion natin dito, every hearing, i-move natin, wala mangyayari dito. Now, kaya nag-usap kami kanina ni Chairman Barbers, if the committee or my co-chairs, and of course, the lead chair, Chairman Barbers, will join me, siguro dun sa committee report or partial committee report na ilalabas natin, we will ask the executive department to create na super body or a commission. Now, to concentrate and investigate para yung mga agencies natin hindi magka-problema sa trabaho nila. Siguro may representative kami from the PNP doon sa commission na yon, pero dapat ito, this will result for a very fair, honest, and truthful result. Doon po sa sinasabi nating mga 7,000 cases of nanlaban. Para at least magiging yung question of result, no? Possible result of this, kaysa bawat hearing natin, kukwestiyonin natin yung police, kukwestiyonin natin ang ganito, tapos mag-move tayo, invite si ganito, wala rin. Di ba? Kaya I suggest, Mr. Chairman, and to the members of this committee that siguro pwede tayong gumawa ng partial committee report with regards to EJK once again, and we will recommend to create such super body, whatever you call it, commission or whatever, no, to concentrate in these cases, no, for review and reinvestigation of all these cases. Yun po. Dalawa po. Again, once again, question of the confidential report that was submitted by then DOJ Secretary Guevara to the Office of the President, if he can get a copy of that, and a part of the partial committee report for the EJK to recommend to the Executive Department to create such body that I mentioned, whatever it is. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I would believe that in this administration, we have a different Philippine National Police. Am I right, Major General Salvador?
Yes, Your Honor.
And therefore, if we have a different Philippine National Police, I'd like to really strongly suggest that another motu proprio investigation should be conducted, no, and reopened with about 7,640 that died in police operations during the time of the former administration. Tulad po ng sinabi ni Congressman Dan Fernandez kanina, huwag kayo mawala ng pag-asa. Ano ha? Attorney Conti, Mrs. Sarmenta, at Ma'am Fortune, lahat po kayo, na ipagpapatuloy po namin ito. In fact, election year po ngayon eh. Kaya napakahirap po sa amin, no? We are being attacked left and right, and we are in the middle of the campaign. Pero nakita po namin yung pangangailangan na dapat talaga po nating ituloy ito. I also would like to agree with Congressman Paduano that a super body should be formed and created, no? Para patuloy ang investigasyong ito kahit na po mag-end ang 19th Congress. Well, we would like also to recognize Reverend Noel. I believe that he also has something to say, so we would like to recognize him now for him to say his own statements of what AJK right now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bilang kinatawan ng mga nanay ng biktima ng EJK, we would like to suggest a truth commission to continue the investigation. Kasi we see the impunity will logically continue with the killings. This truth commission, we suggest, is to continue investigating in view of the prosecution of the mastermind and the perpetrators. We should be selective. And another suggestion is, we suggest that there would be a compensation bill to compensate the victims na walang po ng breadwinner ang mga nanay. Thousands of them. But until now, they are suffering injustice. Nobody helped them. The policemen who were killed, there were system of reward. Pero yung mga biktima, walang tulong. That's why we would like to request, if there would be, if it is contemplated that there would be a compensation bill na bigyan ng scholarship yung mga anak ng victims or kabuhayan or dissenting bahay para matulungan sila. And then, finally, security. Hanggang ngayon may mga threats pa rin ng mga victims. Yun lang po.
Maraming salamat po, Reverend Noel. No? Maganda po yung sinabi ninyo. In fact, nung iniimbestigahan po itong sinimulan natin sa Committee on Human Rights, ay napag-usapan na po yung Truth Commission. Ngayon po ito'y inulit ni Congressman Paduano na magkaroon tayo ng super body to actually investigate on this. At ito iniisip na namin, at hayaan nyo, Reverend Noel, pag-uusapan po namin ito ng Quadcom tungkol po sa Truth Commission sapagkat nais po nating ipagpatuloy itong investigasyon na ito sa EJK kahit na po matapos ang kongresong ito. Sapagkat June 30 po, bago ng kongreso, 20th Congress na. Oo. At nais ko sana kahit na po bago ang may bago ng kongreso, na kaming dalawa na lang po ni Congressman ako ang may iiwan, may pagpapatuloy po namin itong Quadcom na ito. Pero between that, siguro po before we actually complete our investigation, that we now would like to really create a truth commission on this or a super body that would continue to investigate. Ano? So, do we have any other witness here or source speaker that have not spoken yet? And we would like him to also speak and give us their view on the matter, or